In this video, I'm going to provide an update on my debt-free journey. It's been a whole 9 months now. Walk you through my spending for the month of February, and then also provide an update on my net worth. You just got to get started. Okay, so before jumping into my spreadsheet and walking through the actual numbers of my budget, I did want to just take a minute if you are on your debt-free journey or you're thinking about a debt-free journey to encourage you to continue forward with that decision. Is obviously you're thinking about it or you're on it for a particular reason. One of the things I would encourage is obviously having a budget has been foundational for me, but just also realizing that when you are making your budget to definitely prioritize paying off debt, but then evaluate your whole situation as well and try to understand whether or not you have enough in savings and whether or not you have the ability to still invest while you're on this debt-free journey. It's all going to be different depending on your own particular situation and how much debt you have. And this is one of the things I've definitely been learning over these last 9 months is that, you can't fit everyone's situation into a singular system and methodology. But one of the most important things is to just go ahead and get started, and then you will learn along the way what's going to work best for you. Luckily, through this process, I haven't had any major setbacks. I've been able to continue to pay off my debt aggressively each and every single month. But everyone's situation is going to be different. So just want to take this moment to encourage everyone, if you're on your debt-free journey, to keep pressing forward. And if you're thinking about it, it's definitely worth it. All right, let's jump into my debt-free update. All right, so here is my debt tracker for 2021. Since last week, I've reduced my debt by a whole $70. Something is better than nothing. Primary reason being is I made most of my debt payments the week prior. And so this $70 is the amount that comes out automatically in my paychecks for my 401k loans. Other than that, the debt total that I have remaining is $18,609, and the total amount of debt that I've been able to reduce since May of 2020 is $31,060. And the reason why I say the amount that I've been able to reduce instead of paid is because I was able to negotiate some settlements, as you can see up here. I was able to negotiate some settlement payments where I didn't have to pay the full amount of my debts. However, the total amount that I've actually paid out of pocket is $20,557. So definitely very excited about the progress that I've made so far, and I'm excited about this upcoming week. I should be getting a bonus from my job, and so I really should be able to make some additional progress here in the month of March. So stay tuned. All right, now let's go ahead and jump over to my spending for the month of February. And as you can see, my spending primary category that I spent money on this month is my debt categories, 35% or $2,200. The next category that I've spent money in was towards my family category, or 28% of my spend, and that's $1,730. And this is pretty consistent both in January as well as February. No big variance really in any of my spend. Even my food category remained pretty similar. So it's been pretty similar. And like I said, the way that I like to budget out and prioritize is, I do prioritize my debt payments, the payments that go to my family. Then it comes giving. So I have some giving goals this year. And then it's my regular monthly bills, and then whatever money I have left, I do budget it to specific categories so that I can have a zero-based budget, but I do find myself moving that money from different categories, oftentimes over to food or eating out, but it does help me to stay within my budget overall, so I feel as though that's okay. So in general, this is my spend, I guess, for the month was $6,200, and if we were to really quickly look at January, February, the average spend is about $5,800. So in general, I do feel as though tracking your spending is very helpful. So if there were some categories that I did feel that I was going over on, I should be able to recognize it pretty quickly by looking at these reports month in and month out, and it really helps me to stay on track with my debt-free journey. Now, what I found pretty exciting this particular month is my net worth. So When I go back and I look at the first time I ever tracked my net worth was in December, and I put out a video, and I believe in that video it was like 25K, but that was early in the month. Whereas all these are end of the month numbers to track my net worth, so it should be more apples to apples comparison. So if we go back to December 2020, I had a debt ratio of 50%, and my net worth was $23,142. January, that improved by quite a bit, and my debt ratio, it went from 50% to 43%, and a net worth of $27,190. And then February, my debt ratio was 38%, and I had a net worth of $30,352. Now if we jump over here, basically since December my net worth has increased by $7,200 pretty much. And so again, definitely a lot of progress. I mentioned in the video I did in December where I first went over my net worth that I'm pretty confident my net worth was pretty negative at the beginning of last year, but I don't know what that number is, so I'll eventually probably go try to figure out what that is. But overall, I am making progress in this net worth categories. And then real quickly, like over here, you can see what makes up my net worth. So these are all my budgeting categories that I actually spend money out of. We go down into my tracking categories, and these in red, these are all the debt payments that I'm making and seeking to pay off to become debt free. My 401k is the biggest chunk of my investments or assets. And I just did a video also on some of my investments and things like that. And I did actually make some changes to my 401k and a couple of these other ones that I'll probably go over in another video. But one of the primary things I did do in my new 401k last week was I had about 50% of my 401k was made up of my day job company. And so I actually reduced that all the way down back to 5%. So pretty excited about that. We'll see how that goes and does. My HSA was another one that I made some changes in, where I kept another $1,400 in cash, and then I moved over $3,100 to invest. And last week I invested half of that, and I lost $10 that same day that I invested it. It was actually on Friday, so that's okay. But I invested half of it, and then I'll invest the next half either next week or within the upcoming weeks. So that was another change that I made since my last video on my brokerage account and investments. And then down here, you get into like my Robinhood account, except $20, the rest of it is pretty much Dogecoin. Obviously it fluctuates, so all these are based off of what I looked at my accounts yesterday. This crypto.com, this is Cardano and Polkadot. Split between those in this particular account. Again, cryptocurrency, some Aave in this Gemini account, and then Coinbase. I opened up a Coinbase account, and that's pretty much the free Bitcoin that I got. Also, I have some Bitcoin in this Gemini account as well. And then opened up a Webull account, and I put some money over there. Haven't invested any of that. So definitely interested in learning a lot more about cryptocurrency. Might do some videos on that as well. But in general, this is what's make up my total net worth. And like it shows here, I've been making a lot of progress. So appreciate you guys tuning in. All right, so that's it. That's the video. If you have any questions for me, definitely leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, please remember to like the video. It helps me out a lot. And if you're interested in more content like this, subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified of future videos. Until next time.